Justin Timberlake has always carried himself like the center of the universe. It is almost impressive how early he decided that oxygen was optional and attention was not. While the rest of the Mickey Mouse Club was just trying to survive puberty and matching denim, Justin was already auditioning to be Michael Jackson's heir. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling, they were all there. And yet, somehow, the kid with ramen hair and relentless confidence convinced everyone he was destined to be the one. By the time Nsync exploded, he was not just the face of the group, he was the group. JC Chasez could out-sing him in his sleep, but Justin knew vocals are optional when you have camera hog instincts and frosted tips that reflect stadium lighting. The band's choreography hit, the hits charted, the girls screamed, and Justin quietly simmered with a hunger that made even teenage fame feel like a consolation prize. He did not want to be the biggest star in Nsync. He wanted to be the only star that mattered. And in the early 2000s, he got his wish. He moonwalked out of Nsync and into Justified like he had just been freed from witness protection. He snagged Timbaland, Pharrell, and every ounce of early 2000s swagger he could find. The media anointed him the Prince of Pop, and he wore it like a crown, or maybe like a helmet, to protect himself from humility. For a while, it worked. He dominated the radio. He charmed SNL audiences with boyish smirks and "I am in on the joke" sketches. He collected Grammys like Pokemon cards. Even the way he talked about leaving Nsync showed how fast the ego metastasized. He declared, "What I did with Justified was 10 times better than anything Nsync has ever done." 10 times. He did not just burn the bridge, he salted the ground. But the thing about climbing that high is the air gets thin, and Justin's character could not survive without oxygen. The Justin and Britney relationship was pop culture's golden couple. At least that is how their PR teams framed it. They were young, beautiful, and sold to the public as two chaste icons waiting for marriage, as if purity rings were a competitive sport. Behind the curtain, though, it was chaos, and Justin made sure that when it blew up, only Britney burned. When they split in 2002, Justin did not just break up. He launched a media smear campaign dressed as heartbreak. He teased and taunted her in interviews, pushed the "Britney cheated on me" narrative, and cashed it all in with "Cry Me a River." Complete with a Britney lookalike wandering through a moody video like the villain in his personal soap opera. And the public ate it up. While Justin raked in sympathy, Britney was branded a liar, a cheater, and a cautionary tale before she was even old enough to rent a car. This was not just a breakup. It was character assassination wrapped in falsetto. The real story came later. Britney's 2023 memoir finally aired it out like a crime scene. She revealed Justin pressured her into an at-home abortion because a baby did not fit his trajectory, then cheated on her repeatedly while pretending she was the one who strayed. He broke up with her by text. And when her mental health publicly collapsed under the pressure, Justin did not call. He did not check in, he did not defend her, he just looked away. And years later, when interviewers asked if he was worried about her, he mustered a lukewarm, "I wish her the best," as if he had not handed the media the ammo they used to shoot her down. Britney never retaliated. For 2 decades, she stayed silent out of dignity, while he dined out on victim points. And when she finally told her side, Justin did not deny any of it. No lawsuits. No corrections. Just silence, which said more than any PR spin ever could. The world finally saw the truth. Justin did not just survive Britney's downfall, he engineered it. If Britney showed the world Justin's ruthlessness, Janet Jackson showed his cowardice. The 2004 Super Bowl was supposed to be a career-defining moment for both of them. Instead, it became a case study in how Justin leaves wreckage behind him while floating off untouched. Here is what actually happened. Justin pitched a shocking finale to outdo Britney and Madonna's VMA kiss. Janet's stylist later confirmed the original plan involved ripping off part of her costume to reveal a pearl G-string. Plans changed last minute, and instead he tore away her top, exposing her breast on live television in front of 90 million people. The fallout was instant and merciless. For her, MTV blacklisted her, radio stations banned her, JC Chasez even had his Pro Bowl gig canceled just for being adjacent to her. Janet, a legend, was treated like a pariah. Justin got his Grammy invite reinstated, swept 2 awards that night, and eventually headlined the Super Bowl himself years later like nothing happened. Worse, he acted like he was just as shocked as the audience. "I was completely embarrassed," he told the press, as if he had not orchestrated the whole stunt. He offered a half apology at the Grammys so vague it could have been about accidentally bumping someone in the hallway. Janet, loyal to a fault, said she told him not to speak out to avoid escalating the drama, and he happily obeyed, not to protect her, but to protect himself. Because when accountability shows up, Justin disappears faster than ticket sales for Man of the Woods. Years later, when the truth leaked that he had requested a bigger reveal specifically to create headlines, the backlash reignited. Fans realized the so-called wardrobe malfunction was not an accident. It was a career strategy. It was also a blueprint. Exploit someone, escape blame, accept awards, repeat. After Britney was in ruins and Janet was sidelined, Justin strutted into the mid-2000s like he owned the place, and for a bit, it looked like he did. Future Sex love sounds hit like a cultural bomb, Sexy Back reprogrammed radio, and his SNL sketches kept him looking self-aware enough to dodge criticism. But even during his peak, the cracks were there. For decades, he mined black music for cool points, but returned it like a rented costume when the receipts came due. The 2020 experience in 2013 was billed as his grand return. Instead, it played like a 2-hour voicemail from his ego, indulgent, meandering, and allergic to editing. Then came Man of the Woods, where Justin abandoned the slick R&B that made him famous to cosplay as a rugged Americana dad who just discovered flannel at a Bass Pro Shop. Critics called it corny. Fans called it confusing. Pitchfork called it a misstep big enough to relitigate Justin Timberlake's status as a pop superstar. And when Everything I Thought It Was dropped, it flatlined. It became his first album in 18 years not to debut at #1. Reviews called it forgettable, stale, and desperate to recycle old Timbaland magic that just was not there anymore. The Prince of Pop could not even win his own release day. As his albums tanked, his live shows became punchlines. Audiences in Romania and Ireland called his sets lazy karaoke, with Justin barely singing, flubbing choreography, and making them sing half the songs while he complained about the weather. Fans demanded refunds. Others just demanded effort. Across the rest of the run, the pattern held. Verses got truncated, choruses handed to the crowd, and the banter sounded like corporate training videos. When the mic cut in and out, he shot daggers at the crew instead of winning the room back. People did not want a nostalgia walkthrough, they wanted a show. Even his big comeback single, Selfish, got humiliated when fans trolled him by streaming Britney's deep-cut Selfish from 2011 so much it outperformed his on the charts. That was not a coincidence. That was cosmic justice. And through it all, Justin kept clinging to the same old persona, the pop golden boy who could do no wrong. Except now, everything he did looked wrong. In 2019, he was caught holding hands with co-star Alicia Wainwright while married to Jessica Biel, sparking cheating rumors and forcing him to issue a stiff public apology. In 2024, he got arrested for DUI in the Hamptons. The cops said he ran a stop sign, had bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and failed sobriety tests. He refused a breathalyzer 3 times, muttered, "This is going to ruin the tour," and got hit with the most brutal burn of his career. The cop asking, "What tour?" And honestly, fair question. Because Justin Timberlake has not been a must-see event in years. The details were already public and unflattering. It read like a syllabus on how not to behave when your name is on the marquee, so there was nothing left to spin. Friends ran to the press with damage control. Anonymous sources claimed he was just stressed from bad reviews and mounting pressure to compete with younger stars like Harry Styles and Drake. Others said the backlash from Britney's memoir and the Janet Jackson rehash had been gnawing at him, and he had been drinking more lately to cope. Translation: he has been spiraling for years, and the DUI just made it impossible to pretend otherwise. Even that night, people close to him reportedly tried to stop him from driving, and he ignored them. Because Justin does not do accountability. He does entitlement. After the arrest, he tried to plaster over the mess with a brave face routine on stage. He told fans, "We have been through ups and downs and lefts and rights. It has been a tough week. I know I am hard to love sometimes, but keep loving me." It was framed like an intimate confession, except it sounded less like vulnerability and more like emotional blackmail with a light show. And the tough week narrative unraveled fast. Clips of his shows in Europe kept going viral, not for the music, but for how little he seemed to care. The new material could not stick to playlists. Songs arrived on Friday and felt like Monday leftovers. Even the Timbaland reunion could not prop them up for long, and radio treated the singles like polite suggestions. Sensing the backlash was not fading, Justin reached for one last card: sympathy. He announced he had been diagnosed with Lyme disease, describing nerve pain, exhaustion, and brain fog during the tour. It could have been a moment for compassion if anyone still had any left. Instead, social media rolled its eyes and accused him of faking it or copying Justin Bieber, who had revealed the same diagnosis. Even his immune system was getting dragged. That is how far he has fallen. It is not that people do not believe he is sick, it is that no one believes he is sincere. Every move feels like PR camouflage, and audiences have stopped playing along. The thing haunting him now is that Britney and Janet's names will not leave his shadow, and they should not, because their stories aged like evidence. Britney stayed quiet for 2 decades, never spoke against him, and only told the truth when she was free enough to write her memoir. Janet stayed gracious even as the industry blacklisted her, defending him in interviews and saying she considered him a friend. Meanwhile, he spent those same decades acting like they were lucky just to orbit him. When public pressure forced him to apologize in 2021, he released a Notes app confession, admitting he had benefited from a system of misogyny and racism. He even named Britney and Janet directly, saying he could do better and will do better. It could have been redemptive if he had not immediately started undercutting it. Within months, he was making sly digs about Cry Me a River on tour again, as if mocking the woman he humiliated was just muscle memory. Fans noticed. They trolled. They weaponized streams, memes, and receipts. The message was clear. The apology tour is over. The refunds are non-refundable. Justin's core issue is not just scandal fatigue, it is that culture outgrew him, and he never noticed. For 20 years, his entire persona ran on being the cool golden boy. But he never evolved. He never rebuilt. He never asked who he was without the crown. That is why his albums feel hollow now. They are nostalgia without growth, like he is trying to cosplay as 2006 in a 2025 world that moved on. Meanwhile, the rest of his generation grew up. Ryan Gosling, his fellow Mickey Mouse alum, is thriving as the anti-Justin. Self-aware, likable, funny, and willing to reinvent himself from serious actor to campy Ken without flinching. Gosling embraced change. Justin fought it and lost. You can feel the desperation in every move now. The frantic genre pivots. The reheated Timberlake collabs. The weird Americana rebrand that flopped harder than a bad souffle. The strained attempts at edgy humor that used to make him seem charming, but now just feel smug. It is like watching someone still wear their high school Letterman jacket to a class reunion while everyone else is showing baby pictures. Insiders have called it identity foreclosure. Basically, Justin got locked into playing Justin Timberlake so young that he never learned how to be anything else. When he was the golden boy, that worked. But now that he is the cautionary tale, it is a death sentence. Because the persona that once made him bulletproof now makes him look delusional, strutting through flop albums, half-hearted concerts, and public scandals like the laws of gravity do not apply to him. That is why even real personal struggles, like the Lyme disease or the stress spiral, cannot land as sympathetic. No one trusts the packaging anymore. He keeps trying to relaunch his career like it is 2006, and the world keeps reminding him, it is not. There is no easy fix here. Justin has burned through the sympathy, the second chances, and the nostalgia goodwill. He is not hated, he is worse. He is irrelevant, and in pop culture, irrelevance is terminal. Once people stop rooting for you, they start enjoying the downfall. That is where Justin Timberlake is now, the boy who once wanted to be Michael Jackson, reduced to a meme about a cop saying, "What tour?" If he wants any chance of saving what is left of his legacy, he is going to have to do something he has avoided his entire career. Stop talking, stop spinning, and start owning what he did to the people who trusted him. He would need to sit down, say it plainly, and actually mean it. Maybe with Oprah. Definitely without flannel. Because the Prince of Pop act is not charming anymore. It is just tired. And if he cannot shed it, he is going to fade out the same way his last album did, quietly, awkwardly, and with no one cheering when the lights go down.